Living in Shag, we would use our donkeys because we don't have cars. It's a place called Katangi, very, very humble. Bado steamer tujapata, but we are heading there.
Even now, bado still Japan.
We don't have steamer and piped water.
The co-founder of Let's Discover Kenya was born and raised in Machakos, where Mutuku remembers walking up to 30 kilometers just to get to school.
And we used to go to school barefooted, by the way. Mr. Kudanganya ati ni mimi nilikuwa number 1 kwa shule.
Yeah.
I was able to get 320 marks.
Kwani, you're going to school at lunchtime.
Let's Discover's journey begins with Mutuku getting into a rift with his employer about social media content.
I think as an employer, if you see your employee doing something, employers have that phobia of this person is about to leave. So they found that I had created something called Mutuku Trips. This page started getting more engagements than the work page.
That'll get you in trouble for sure.
Got me in trouble.
Yeah.
I saw a proper dead end.
He continues to post beautiful images about Kenya and soon gets an inquiry that lands him his first gig in the luxury tour and travel industry, worth 5 million shillings.
So I told myself one thing. Your page wameogopa, but if I do something about it, these people paid more than 5 million for the first booking. I've never seen 1 million Kenya shillings before then.
We talk about the business models in the tours and travel industry.
Luxury brand for us in travel
Yeah.
has nothing to do with the amount of money you're going to pay, but has everything to do with the kind of service you're going to get.
Are there establishments that people would assume
Yeah.
would be luxury, but based on experiences you've had, don't cut it?
50% of the properties in Kenya, yes.
The ones that I would assume.
Yeah.
Can I, if I name things and you blink twice, can you?
The revenue streams and COVID.
But COVID was not as kind. 5 days later, I got a call from my uncle that my dad passed away.
He talks about how using influencers changed the trajectory for his business and the rookie mistakes he made from the onset.
This episode is about great drive and seizing an opportunity when it presents itself. Hey guys, this is Barack from Financially Incorrect. I am here to say thank you so much for the 50k plus people who have subscribed to Financially Incorrect. We really do appreciate you. When we crossed 50k, we had a nice, small, intimate party at our offices, and we celebrated this milestone. I have convinced the powers that be that if we can get to 100k by December, we will throw a big party to celebrate with all of you guys. And now we have 3 different segments for you guys to watch. There's Financially Incorrect Business Edition, Financially Incorrect Uganda Edition, and Financially Incorrect the regular Kenyan edition. So please do, if you like our content, subscribe. If we get to 100k by December, we will throw the biggest party in East Africa. So please do subscribe. Hey everybody, welcome to yet another episode of Financially Incorrect, the business edition. I am your host, Barack. If you listen to this episode, it means it is a Tuesday. We can talk about business, or we have the Uganda edition that goes out. Of course, this Tuesday is the business edition, and I do have another business that I am bringing to you. If you love traveling, if you're in, I want to say in Kenya because that's where I have I have interacted with this business. But if you're in Kenya, if you are in East Africa, I would assume this is a company you definitely have seen or want to be aware of. It is Let's Discover, and I'm seated here with the founder, co-founder and CEO of Let's Discover, Mutuku. Welcome to Financially Incorrect.
Thank you so much, Barack.
I am looking forward to this conversation. When you sent over the sort of bio and profile of this business, because it's a business that I'd seen before. Of course, I've seen it on Instagram. Yeah. The images and everything look fantastic. Yeah. I was shocked. I was shocked by how this business started. Yeah. And even the growth that you've had in the last 5 years and where you're, because this was a business born in COVID, right?
Yes, in COVID. We opened the company in 2020. Yeah. Just when COVID had just taken over everywhere.
Yeah, I think people who started businesses in COVID. Anyway, that's another story for another day. Before we even get into it, I want to ask you a bit about, because we're discussing this before the podcast started, some of the travel challenges Kenyans are experiencing now with trying to travel to other countries. We talked about Dubai, we talked about Thailand. Yeah. I don't know if you're able to just expound on that a little bit right now.
I think most Kenyans have been experiencing challenges with visas to different countries. Let's say, for example, a country like Dubai. It was very easy for Kenyans to get visas to Dubai, but I think for the last 3 weeks, it has been a bit hard, mostly for Kenyans who are below 40. Most of their visas are getting rejected. This stems back to the fact that most Kenyans, I'm not sure if this is a fact, most Kenyans are maybe overstaying in these countries. So the visa restrictions are becoming a bit stricter for us. So it's becoming a challenge for Kenyans to travel. The last few years, it was quite easy to travel to Thailand. and now it is very, very complicated, and it might be happening also for a country like Vietnam. Yes.
And you mentioned, you mentioned something like for Thailand, you need a letter from the ministry.
Yes.
Yeah.
You need your bank statements, you need your employer letter to show that you're going to come back. So if you don't have like a steady job, it's very hard for you to travel to a country like Thailand right now. Also, some of the requirements, they don't put them up front for you to show you that you need this before you apply for a visa. So once you apply for it, they end up asking for those documents later.
Yeah.
Yes.
You had mentioned about the Ministry of, is it the Ministry of
The
Immigration?
Foreign
Affairs,
Affairs
something. You
of
need a
Kenya.
letter from them.
Yes.
How do you even get a letter from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs?
It is a bit complicated. I think you need to walk in there,
Yeah.
have your letter stamped that you're going to come back. Yeah, it's
Okay.
a complicated and tedious process right now.
And then for Dubai, you mentioned something about deposit you need to pay, and then
Yes. Currently, if you're traveling to Dubai, they're asking for a security deposit apart from the visa fees, and still your visa is not guaranteed that you're going to get it. Yes, and also you need to have funds in your account up to around $4,000. I'm sure not most of the people who would like to go to Dubai might have that type of money, in their accounts. So it's making the process a bit complicated for businesses, because Dubai is one of our top selling destinations. So their bookings have really, really gone lower for Dubai. Yes.
So, if you're to give us like a percentage reduction, how, especially like with this one for Dubai, compared to like this time last year, how what's the decrease been like?
I think we used to get up to maybe 10 bookings in a week to Dubai, but right now you can go for a week without getting a booking, because nobody wants to risk losing the money, because for the visa fees, it was like, say, $200. Nobody wants to lose that money, so they just decide to wait until all the issues are maybe aligned, then they can be able to apply for their visas.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the in your experience with the different things that you've seen around Kenya?
Yeah.
What's the word? The most incredible hidden gem that exists in our country that you've had the pleasure of being to?
Most people love the coasts, but I really, really love Masai Mara. Masai Mara is really, really beautiful. For anyone who understands travel and safaris, Masai Mara will really give you everything you're looking for. I think I never get tired of going back to Masai Mara every single time. Just to get to interact with wildlife, get to see how people are able to live around wildlife. It is a really good experience.
So for you, that like Masai Mara is it?
I love Masai Mara.
Yeah.
There is also Laikipia, but now with Laikipia, there's a challenge of the number of hotels most people like me can afford, because Laikipia can be really, really, really expensive to travel to. But Laikipia is also simply stunning. If you get a chance, you should try it one day. Yeah.
I think I've been to Laikipia. I think I have. I'm not certain, but I think I have. What do you think about traveling or people spending money on traveling? Do you think it has to be a culture that one is born into, or because because I'm looking at this from the perspective of people who don't spend money on experiences and look at spending $500,000, 700,000, $1 million shillings on an experience as a bad, a poor financial decision, so to speak. What's been your experience with interacting with people who like to travel? Like my friend over there.
I think before I got into the tours and travel businesses, I never used to see the sense why someone needs to spend a lot of money to go maybe to coast, to go to Masai Mara. But by continuing to do the business, I got to learn people treat travel as an investment. The people just want to go to a different country, maybe to a different destination, to just create memories, and just get to experience how people get to live in that specific destination. And also sometimes you have worked for a whole year and you just need to rest. They're like, okay, I'll treat myself to a trip to coast. I'll treat myself to a trip to Masai Mara. Also, it's for educational purposes. Some kids will go to Masai Mara, get to see the wildlife in their natural habitat, and get to understand these things. there is a difference between a child who has gone to Masai Mara, seen a lion, seen an elephant, as compared to another one who has never been to Masai Mara, and they are still having the same experiences in life. The experience for the child who has gone to Mara and who has never, they're going to be very, very different. The experience for the child who is going to coasts and also has never gone there, it's going to be very, very different.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let's get a little bit into your background, who you are. Right,
Yeah.
you're born in. We're talking about this before. You're born in Machakos.
Yeah.
Born and raised, like you said, in shags.
Yes.
What was that? Define living in shags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Living in shags entailed going to school, helping my mom with things in shags. We would use our donkeys because we don't have cars we never used to have cars in Machakos. Maybe some people right now have. It's a place called Katangi, very, very humble. But right now, thanks to the county governments, we have tarmac. Bado stima tujapata, but we are heading there.
Even now, bado still Japan.
We don't have steamer and piped water, weirdly enough. So I used to, on a normal day, I used to wake up, go to school. When I come back from school, and we used to go to school barefooted, by the way. Our school was like 30 kilometers away from home. In the evening, if we come back from school early, we would go and fetch water and still look after our cattle. So I grew up in a place where I didn't have a lot of experiences from other things. So just like a very humble background. Kulelewa tu manze. Yeah.
I think before we started, we were talking about how not only did you sort of walk barefoot in certain spaces, but and the use of the donkeys to get water, but you talked about even the school that you went to and the kind of school that you went to, that your teacher is the one who had the textbook.
Yes.
And you guys didn't have the privilege of having textbooks.
We never used to have a textbook. When I was going to school, the government has just introduced the free primary education. And I'll be honest with you, going to primary school in the areas where I come from sometimes is not easy. But we were able to get a book or two. For each subject, at least we were able to get a book. So the book was only reserved for the teacher. So if you're studying anything, you never know what you're going to study tomorrow, because some kids, I'm sure we buy books for them. Before hata waende shule, they already know what you're going to study tomorrow. Yes. So for us, it was more of an imagination. We were just waiting for the teacher to tell us what we're going to study tomorrow. So for the books, what the teacher used to do is you'd come to the blackboard, anaandika, and you have to take notes. So for, let's say 30 minutes, you would write everything on the blackboard, then after, anaanza kuwafunza. So akianza hii side, by the time anafika mwisho anakuja anafuta hii side, and you need to have finished doing all the notes by then. Yes.
Okay. I mean, sounds challenging. However, you end up getting your KCP results,
I did.
Which, like I was trying to tell you, based on where you were, seemed decent, if not good. In fact, I would say good. Yeah.
It was quite decent because I think Mr. Kudanganya ati mimi nilikuwa number 1 kwa shule. But I think in our primary school I was number 2. And I
you were number 1, but you were number 2.
I was number 2. But you know, that's true. I was number 2. So I was able to get 320 marks.
Yeah.
And sometimes I used to, after I went to high school, I used to think, nimeenda shule watu wamepata 400 marks plus. I think, honestly speaking, from the students who I went to Form 1 with, I was maybe not last, second last.
In terms of the actual grade.
Yes, in terms of the actual grade. But now, it never made me think low of myself because it was a chance I was already gotten.
Yeah.
With 320, watu wengine wako na 400, you're like, okay, we have to try. So my dad was able to get me into that school. I don't think I should have gone maybe to another local school.
What was the school you ended up going to?
I went to Kangaroo School.
Okay.
Yes, I'm sure a couple of good top people have gone to Kangaroo School. I was able to go to Kangaroo School in Embu.
Okay. And I mean, like I was saying, and I was thinking the argument is because I remember when in primary school hearing of people who would be taken from just before KCP, or you're registered in Shags, and so just before KCP they take you there to go and do the exams there, because if you don't do very well, they think that you've done the exam there, so
Yes.
then you're placed in a better
Yeah.
school. So, I mean, from a place where you're saying the teacher has a textbook,
Yeah.
I would say 320 is very honorable.
Yeah, it was quite decent. It was
Yeah,
quite decent.
the
So
week the week that we're recording this,
Yeah.
I saw a tweet. Someone said, I think someone said they got 108 in their KCP, and someone quoted and asked them, "Kwani, you're going to school at lunchtime?" Anyway, that's the. In fact, I'll find the tweet and show you plug it in here.
yeah.
But anyway, but I think it was really decent. My perspective.
Yeah.
So anyway, you end up going to high school.
Yeah.
You do quite well.
Yeah.
You end up going to university.
Yeah.
Like Cape University,
Yeah,
you study
Laikipia University,
statistics,
yes.
which is in my books just crazy.
Yeah.
But you go up and study statistics, you do well.
Yeah.
And in while you're still at university, you set up a digital
Yes, agency.
marketing
Yeah.
agency,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And maybe tell us a little bit about how that came about.
So, while in campus, one of the things I appreciate about myself is the fact that I'm able to talk to people. Sometimes I can be quite shy, but I don't have shame of telling someone I do this, I do that. So I met a couple of people in social media platforms, WhatsApp groups. Was put maybe in WhatsApp groups for people to have conversations with. I would just ask someone, hey, unafanya nini? What do you do? So once they told me what they did, I would keep it in mind. I think for my digital agency, which I used to have back then, the best breakthrough is when I spoke to people who were working for MultiChoice before they stopped airing the Kenya Premier League. So I had a friend of mine called Jafeth Akulia and Sheikh Olawi. They were very, very kind to me. So they invited me for a meeting. And by that time, actually, I was in campus and I didn't have a lot of knowledge in running a company or anything. So they invited me for a meeting. It was such a funny meeting because when I got to the meeting, I was swinging with my seat. Then Chico comes and tells me, Mutuko, sit up front. I've never been in any boardroom. So for me, I was just used to hanging out with my friends, school and all that. So I think they were able to teach me a couple of good cultures, which helped me to even go to better spaces. They were able to refer me to different people. So I think from that chance I was given by someone, I was really, really lucky.
Yeah.
Because I believe there's so many people they could have worked with, maybe their friends, but they gave me that chance. And I believe I never failed them. We worked with them for a couple of months. But from the people I met in that meeting, I think it went. It really went well for me because they were able to refer me to different clients. I was able to get different people to work with for the agency, and that really, really helped me to grow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this connection allows you to begin
Yes.
this digital marketing agency.
Yes.
Despite studying, this I just want to ask. Despite studying statistics, what was intriguing about the digital marketing space?
I think before one of the things I wanted to do when I was a child is I used to be so fascinated with the TV. I used to be so fascinated with law when I was in class 8. But since I was young, I grew up in a place whereby we used to watch TV with those black. Do you remember the white, the red,
Black and white.
Yes.
No, or the red TVs that had like a
Yes.
brown thing on the
Yes.
side and a big knob.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then ile stima imepotea kidogo napacha inaanza kuwa kidogo. So I used to be so intrigued about that. Like I would be like, oh, how can I be in TV one day? So I was really, really interested in media. But you see, as a child in that area, it's very hard for you to ever decide what you'd ever want to do in future because my dad used to say, you're good in maths. So I think my dad wanted me to become a banker or a teacher or something. But it was never in my books.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll say maybe I was a rebel because I started doing things to do with media so that I can create another path for myself. Yeah.
Okay. And so that's how it was born. Okay. Do you remember what they were paying you when you started this stuff with the multi-choice contract?
I think it was quite not a bad amount because I think that back then for influencing, just managing the campaigns and all that, I would earn like 50K, which was quite good.
Just 50K a month.
Yes,
a month
that's
thereabouts.
after I've already paid the other people I've worked with. They were quite kind to me. I think, in my early 20s.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
and maybe my bargaining powers were not as good.
As
I
good
would
as-
have earned more
Yeah.
if I bargained more.
potentially.
Yeah.
Okay, so you start the business.
Yeah.
You then get other clients on board.
Yes.
Are you charging them the same retainer of 50K, or has that increased, reduced? What's that when you're starting to get other clients on board?
No, I think in between I started learning how other companies are charging, other corporate companies, and I was able to now start upping my rates for marketing, for influencers and all that. So I was able to start getting more and more with time.
Okay.
Yeah, and also I asked for guidance from other people because one of the things I always believe is sijui kila kitu i Nairobi or anything. So I love talking to people to get their perspective of things. Like if I come up with a proposal, I'm not shy to send it to someone and tell them, oh, I've come up with this. What do you think? Have I charged right? Have I used the right words? And they are able to guide me. So people were able to guide me through, and I was able to get to the proper market rates.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's a particular client that then you get on board who
Yes.
essentially is like the genesis
Yes.
origin story of Let's Discover. Yeah.
Yes.
So how do you get them on board? What's that process like? What's that relationship like?
So I used to have a friend of mine. He's called Victor. Victor used to work for a tours and travel company. But now Victor left and started his own website. Then after I started, I had met this client through Victor. One of the days I called him, I wanted to ask about something very, very different. They're like, oh, Mutuku, you can come to the office. Maybe you can help us with digital because we no longer have anyone doing digital. So I went to the office. That day I was just seated at home doing nothing. So I went to the office. We spoke. They gave me an offer. Pesa nilikuwa nalipwa we.
Do you remember?
I think my first salary, because it was a monthly retainer for that job, was 22,000.
Okay.
No, actually 20,000. Then they reviewed it to 22,000 after a year. But honestly speaking, I'm not sure my ambitions were as good as they are right now, because that time I was okay with it. And having in mind, I also had other brands
Other
I was working with.
yes.
I was fine. And so I started working with them. Back then, they had just started, and I think they only had 2 employees and the 2 directors. We worked together. The company grew. But you see, in a marketing role, it can be hard for you to always gauge yourself if you don't get proper feedback from your employer. So I'm sure I did my best. Worked until 2020.
Okay.
Yes.
So in 2020 is when, if I'm not wrong, you create a page, you create a separate page.
Yes, during
based
COVID.
During COVID, based off all of these things that you've seen,
Yes.
different fantastic places in Kenya, you'd create a separate page, and you start showcasing these beautiful spaces. But that lands you in trouble.
Yes, it does. Because I think as a business partner, as an employer, if you see your employee doing something, you'll be like, is this person planning to leave? Employers have that phobia of this person is about to leave. So they found that I had created something to do with called Mutuko Trips. I'm not sure why I was not creative with the name. So I came up with Mutuko Trips. So I started posting these beautiful destinations. But life is so weird because this page started getting more engagements than the work page.
That will get you in trouble for sure.
Got me in trouble. Yeah, it did. After it got me in trouble, they called me for a meeting. So I thought maybe COVID is here. They're thinking of coming up with a plan to how we're going to be retained or something, or how we're going to do better in business. The meeting did not go as I had envisioned. It was actually close to the end of the month. And before then, I had gotten a loan of, I think, around 40K because I had just gotten a job which paid me well. And I wanted to buy a car, so I had 40,000 less. So I asked them, can you guys top me up? Then I'll be able to refund the money. It was not in my plans that all that money would be deducted from the salary I had. So they told me they can't retain me anymore. I'm not doing a good job. They have seen what I've been doing. I'm like, guys, honestly speaking, I was young and naive. So if maybe I got a client from this page, I would have given them to them because I want them to grow. As an employee, for me, my goal was to make sure this company grows.
Right.
So I was let go.
Looking back now, why was Mutuki Trips, getting more engagement than the tour and travel company that you are working for? Yet you are the one who's doing both their pieces of content.
I believe in freedom. Even for Let's Discover, I actually do the content for Let's Discover, each and every single post. I believe a work page is not supposed to be extra serious. I used to post what would come to my mind. If I see a beautiful destination, I never used to have to seek authorization from anyone to post on Motoko Trips. So I think that's why it's performed better, because I would use language which would be able to communicate well to
As
people.
opposed to the corporate
Yes, as
speak and
opposed to
type,
the corporate
right.
language. I don't have to keep on putting the numbers. I just put a destination, tell people how beautiful it is.
Right.
They would engage to it.
Okay, makes sense. I understand that. So you're let go.
Yes.
Your contract is terminated. First of all, how do you then finish the 40K that the 40K balance you have on the loan?
Siko shakata salo.
Yeah.
Ile 20K.
Yeah.
So nimefika home, saa para sina hiyo siku. Yeah.
But you have a car.
I have a car. At least I have a car. That's what used to keep me going is the fact that I had already bought myself a car. And people don't understand why I love cars so much. When I was growing up, I think my dad never used to have a car, but all my uncles used to have a car. So when I first bought that car on that day, niliomba pesa ya mafuta pia nifike ushago niambie madhe
Here's a car.
here is a car. And my mom was literally so happy. That time my dad was still living. So I came back to Nairobi, nikaweka home, niko na gari, so my day is good. After I got home, I started thinking about my life. It was such an awakening moment for me because it's COVID time. And one of the things I'll tell you, doing influencer jobs in Kenya is not as easy. You can do a job and not be paid in like months. I always used to depend on this salary I used to get from these people because najua at the end of the month salon talipa. Food nitapata ni kwa hizi jobs zingine. Started thinking about it. I saw a proper dead end. Yes. So I told myself one thing. I used to have a lot of time working for these people. What if I just keep that time and still keep on posting on that page? Your page wameogopa. What if I do something about it?
Yes.
So I kept on posting. But COVID was not as kind. So I think 5 days later, I got a call from my uncle that my dad passed away.
Oh no.
In Ukambani.
Yeah.
I think it never got to eat me properly at that specific moment. But when I got home, that's when I realized, yes, when nikirudi Nairobi, I don't have anyone to fall back to. And I don't think I have so many relatives in Nairobi personally. Maybe my cousins and all that. My bro is in Mombasa. So it was going to be a one-man journey alone. So I opened the page and kept posting. What I kept on telling myself is, this has to work or it has to work.
But even when you're saying this has to work, what has to work? Because you were just posting images.
The idea was I wanted to keep on posting so that hotels can approach me so that I can...
You make money as an influencer.
Yes, as make money because my job already was
At
an
that time
influencer.
right.
I never knew anything about travel at that specific point. I just wanted to make sure that if I post maybe a hotel, I'm able to get 10,000, 5,000. And life goes on before I figure out maybe where the wind takes me next time.
Right.
So one day, after I posted something in Nanyuki, I'd actually indicated my number on the page. Someone called me out of nowhere. He's like, oh, I've been seeing the posts you've been making on this page. We are planning something to go to Nanyuki. Are you able to help us plan? I was like, yes, we can. He was like, oh, okay, call me after 30 minutes, then I can take you through. After nilikata simu, nilikuwa naendesha gari. After nilikata simu, I'm like, Mutuku, where do you start? So I asked a friend of mine called Joe, nimepata hii job, what do I do about it? He told me, hey, I know a friend of mine who is called Tracy, who was doing tours and travel. Maybe you guys can work together. So my plan was to bring her, maybe hire her for this specific job, because honestly speaking, I never knew
It was going to be a business.
It was going to be a business or something. After I called Tracy, akaniambia, hey, ni sawa tupatane. And weirdly enough, I actually remember that specific day where I met Tracy. I think I met her at a place of someone you have actually interviewed before. It's called Big Fish on Thika Road.
He owes us fish, by the way. Well, actually, not he owes us fish. He told us he will give us fish. We have never gone. Collins. Yeah.
Okay.
We need to go for Brad's fish.
So we met there.
Yeah.
I was quite young. I knew nothing about business. I had only run a tours and I don't know. It was the digital agency. So I gave her the idea. I'm like, oh, Tracy, we have someone who is asking to go to this place. Are you able to handle it? So I think from the conversation we had, I saw the knowledge she has, and I didn't have that knowledge. I had the knowledge of marketing. I had nothing to do with tours and travel because I know how to market hotels. I don't know how to maybe handle a client who was going to go to a specific hotel. So after we had a conversation, I'm like, oh, what if we register a company together?
There. That's when you had this conversation.
Yeah. Na sasa mnataka kuregister kampuni na pesa hata kuregister kampuni haina. Where do you start? So we had a conversation. So we decided we're going to register the company the next week. Then we called the guy. He gave us the inquiry. He was like, we're looking for a corporate getaway to Nanyuki, this number of people. Can you check for us if Mayan is available? So tukapiga simu, we sent, like Tracy came up with all the documents for sending quotes and all that. Then he sent the quotes. Tracy calls me 1 week later. He's like, Motuko, this guy has confirmed and he wants to pay. Nikamwambia Tracy, hata hatuna kampuni. Where is he going to pay?
Yeah.
She was like, hey, si tufungue. So we looked for a friend of mine. She opened the company. Then from there, we have to also look for a bank account because this person wants to pay.
Yes.
We don't have a bank account. We can tell them to pay to a personal account.
Yes.
During COVID time, everything was just slow. We go to the bank takes forever.
Yes.
So after a while, I think after a week or two, we were able to get the bank account.
What bank do you end up opening?
We went to Stanbic.
Stanbic, okay.
But now the problem is the person we took the documents to went on leave. So msee akaachia mtu mwingine document. Na msee mwingine tunaenda, sometimes bank people can have the attitude and all that. Unafika tunakwambia we handle it, don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, what are you handling?
And at this time, is this potential client getting frustrated?
No. I think he was kind enough. He was not in a rush to do anything.
Okay.
He's called Brian, and he didn't have a rush to do anything.
Okay.
He kept on just waiting. So after I got the bank account, we did our first deposit, a very solid one of 500 bob. 500 bob. Because I just got a bank account for a company and I wanted to see how it works. So we are being shown around the internet banking and all that. So I'm like, guys, can I go and deposit 500 bob to see if it's true?
Yeah.
I did the deposit. It went through. Then we were shown how to do the internet banking for the company and all that. Then we sent the bank details to the client.
Yes.
There was a bit of anxiety between the moment we sent the bank account until the time we got our first deposit, because it was a good one of 500k.
For 500,000 shillings.
500,000 Kenya shillings.
He's paid a deposit for this
booking.
Booking that he's making.
Yes.
Okay.
He actually made a cash deposit, then cleared the balance in a couple of days.
Okay.
Yes.
When I want to talk a bit about just this process. When you're figuring out what you're quoting, and maybe I'm preempting the conversation, but essentially I want to find out how this tours and travels business works. What's the knowledge that Tracy is giving you at that point that you realize, I don't know how this business works? What is it that she starts talking about that you're like, hey, I'm in over my head?
So number one, I never used to know how hotels work. I think there is a mindset among most people. They will think at a travel agent akichukua abdo, akitaka kucharge kwa hoteli, they charge you extra so that they can be able to make their money.
Yes.
But they don't. you get into contract with the hotels, they're able to give you a commission from the amount, from the normal rates they have, they're able to give you a commission. So mi sikuwa najua. Tracy alikuwa anajua hizi mambo. These people wanted to do activities in Nanyuki. I have never been to Nanyuki before. So Tracy had done the tours and travel before. He has done trips to Nanyuki. So she was able to do like a proper package which convinced the client. She was able to do a proper itinerary. Nilikuwa namwangalia na shangaa, hizi vitu nitaijulia wapi? Because for me, I didn't know what I was going to approach the hotel at first. So how she just handled the client, she was very professional. Hata hakuwa na simu, but alikuwa anapigia tu client na simu yake, anamtumia kila kitu. I actually realized she was going to be a perfect business partner for me because she had all the knowledge I never had. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So even this first big trip that you've organized, so does it end up being the full cost? Is it 1 million shillings?
No,
Or is
it was a bit more.
Okay.
Because
when you factor in the hotel, the tours,
when you
and
factor in
everything
the hotel, transport and all that, trust me, we were able to make good money.
Yeah.
To even enable us to get laptops for the office, to open an office for ourselves, and even get a few employees. We got 2 employees. 2
Off of
weeks
that
into
first
business.
payment?
Yes.
So what? So I have a question now
Yes.
because maybe I should get into this business. What are the kind of commissions that you're negotiating or that one negotiates with a hotel to be able to make that kind of good money?
So it depends. I think we had the upper hand.
Okay.
Number one, because it was COVID.
Yes.
Namwambia your hotel is vacant and I have people who want to come
Yes.
and they are trying to open and people are not coming. And I come to you and I tell you I'm going to take you all of your rooms and book all of them and pay for them for a whole week. Definitely these people are interested. So sometimes we just keep quiet kidogo. Then they call you like, we can increase your commission kidogo. So we were able to actually make good money from that because let's say a room is going for 20,000 and you take like 40 rooms. That's 800,000. You stay for a week. That's close to, because I think these people paid more than 5 million for the first booking.
For this first booking that
I've never seen 1 million Kenya shillings before then. I had never.
for the first booking that you
Yes.
have is over 5
Yes.
million shillings.
Yes. So imagine that moment of me getting home. I see 5 million in our account. And I was used to only having 10,000 on my M-Pesa.
Yeah.
Because before I used to be paid on M-Pesa. Me sikuwa na pay sleeve.
Yeah.
Then
Okay.
I get home, I have like 5 million.
Yeah.
For a client I need to pay out.
Okay.
Yeah. I have all the motivation now to work hard. Yeah.
Okay, tell me. Okay, give me, so because I don't want you to give me very specifics. I don't want you to give me like your business secrets, but on average, like where would commissions generally range? Like from the lower end to like high end commissions for a hotel?
I think they range from 10 to 40%.
You can get up to 40%.
Yes, but now 40, mostly for non-residents.
Okay, for
Yes.
non-residents.
Yes, non-residents.
Okay.
The commissions are good. For Kenyans, might be 10, 15, 20.
Okay.
Yes. So sometimes for you to make a lot of money, it depends on the volume.
All right.
Yes.
So you guys get this first big
Booking.
First big booking, which first of all is just, I just like,
It was ridiculous, trust me. Yes.
it's just great.
I think I even called my mom and told
Yeah.
her, Mom, nacha nikuambie kitu moja. Hii Nairobi nilikuja ni kama finally ita work out. Because I was literally happy. You have given these thing a chance and it's finally working out.
Okay.
Yes.
And so tell me what then happens then, because you said, okay, well, you have given away to some extent, because you say from that first money that you're able to make from the commission you're able to make, you're then able to book hire an office,
Yes.
hire 2 people, and begin to get some office structure. So what are the next important things that you do for the business then?
I think what we did is we had a sit down and started having a discussion about where we want the company to go. And I remember one thing Tracy said is, she said, let's do luxury travel. For me kusikia luxury travel, I thought it's about money. Wale watu wanataka wako na pesa mingi.
So she's sending clients.
We discussed it and she started showing me what luxury means and I was able to understand it. And we decided for us as Let's Discover, we want to be a luxury brand.
Explain for me your luxury.
Luxury brand. Luxury brand for us in travel
Yeah.
has nothing to do with the amount of money you're going to pay, but has everything to do with the kind of service you're going to get. Immediately from the moment you make an inquiry with us to the moment you go to a specific hotel. But I'll be honest with you, we don't sell each and every hotel. You'll come to me and tell you this is not in our listing. So we make a point of going to these hotels, getting to understand the kind of service they offer to people for us to say as a luxury brand we're able to sell this hotel. Sometimes maybe if the time is on our side, we are not able to stay at a specific hotel to know, but immediately I come to your hotel, spend a day there, I will understand what my client will experience. Yes, so that's...
And what's the criterion? Like what's the criterion for making it as a luxury hotel? Sorry.
Number one, it's service. Number two is experience, because you can tell me you're selling a luxury brand, then the kind of cars you're using maybe to go do a game drive, ni gari zinaenda kukwama kwa kichaka. So we do a review of the service, the people working there, and the experiences people are going to get.
Okay.
Yes.
Are there is I'm going to see, I don't know if this may be, would it qualify as defamatory? I don't know. And let me ask. Are there establishments that people would assume would be luxury, but based on experiences you've had, don't cut it?
50% of the properties in Kenya, yes.
The ones that I would assume.
Yes.
Can I, if I name things and you blink twice, can
You want me to be sued? I'm not ready for that.
But you're saying that with 50% of
Yes.
what is established as like 5-star,
Yes.
don't cut it.
They don't, because I think for luxury properties, we have some properties I'm sure most Kenyans don't know about, and that's what we are trying as a brand. We're trying to bring into the market, because I believe apart from the price, we have people who are willing to spend a specific amount of money for a specific experience. There are those hotels, sorry to say, wanazionanga kila mahali, they are being sold by anyone. Everyone and anyone. I always ask myself, what is the difference between me and the other travel agent? If you can call me and I can just book, I don't want to mention names, Hotel Z in Mombasa, what is going to differentiate me and the other travel agency? What is going to differentiate between Let's Discover and the other company? So we try to do an extra job to go to the ground, figure out the new hotels which people don't know. Like in Diani, there are so many beautiful hotels people don't know about. There are so many boutique properties people don't know about. Yes.
Okay. So I just go back now. I may fast forward kidogo, but it was interesting. So back to the employees and you started. How what makes you confident that you'll get yet another gig? Because again, this is literally in the middle of COVID. Yes, you've been fortunate and got this amazing first deal. Is there no fear of there might not be another one?
I think what kept us moving is the fact that every single time we would wake up, we would post on social media and we'll get people asking. We would get people asking about weekend getaways. We'll get people asking about game drives to Nairobi National Park. By the way, we started with the game drives to Nairobi National Park too. We would do a couple of them. We would get people asking about safaris to the Mara. And luckily for us, I really believe in luck. We had at least amassed a few followers here and there. So it was quite easy for people to be able to see what we are doing. So we just told ourselves, if we got this first call and we're able to make a sale, a second one will come. But it was hard. Starting a business is not easy because sometimes we would sit in the office tunaangaliana tu. Nobody's calling, nobody's doing anything.
So in the business, you're the four of you, the two employees, and you two?
Yes, na wamekaa hapo na wanakuangalia. Sioni mdosi, kazi iko wapi? Yeah, so we would sit for days. Other days we will get a booking. I'm sure I wish you would have seen the excitement in the office. We'd get a booking. Then slowly things started becoming better. We started making bookings. We would at least get 2 bookings, 3 bookings in a day. And things started getting better with time.
What's the thing that catalyzes you from moving from 0 bookings to 3-4 bookings in a day? What are the things that you change? Are you posting more?
I think we started learning about creating products and the consistency in posting. what I've seen, maybe other companies, even in other areas, not able to maybe move from 0 to 2, is their consistency and their persistence to just keep on going each and every single day. Yes, you have to keep being consistent, even when you're. Sometimes I saw someone say, I think on Instagram. The work of a brand is to wake up, get 2 likes, and still wake up tomorrow and do the same job again. Yes. That's what most brands do. You'll wake up, post on Instagram, nobody is asking. But what is going to differentiate you from other companies which are not going to make it is how you keep on waking up, doing the same thing differently with time, and that's how you grow.
Okay. Is there a product that you create that begins to change the financial trajectory of your company that, like, when you launch this product, people really start signing up?
I think we have been trying to talk to hotels to come up with different offers. And there's a behavior with Kenyans. You can still give them the same rate for hotel. Tell you are going to get, let's say, a rate of 40K. The normal rate is 40K. Tell them you're going to pay 2 for 2 nights, get that free, and they're going to book that. Yes. So what we try to come up with different experiences from other travel companies. Something we are trying, and I hope people are not going to steal my idea, is have you ever seen a package to cost with activities? Anyone marketing that?
I don't know that I have. Have you?
No, I think most people. You will find when most Kenyans are going to Dubai, you will have
it has
all the
activities,
activities,
right.
all the activities and everything. So I think it's a failure on us as travel agents and other players in the tourism industry. We don't create that. For Kenyans, ni kama we want them to go to Mombasa, stay in the hotel, go to the beach. What if you can create an experience for people? If you go to Mombasa, you know you're going to experience this activity, you're going to experience a sunset dhow and all that. So I have believed with Kenyans, if you give them an experience and value for money, they are going to buy it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me now, what's the next? So from that initial point, then you go quiet and then you start getting 2-3 bookings a day. What's the next big financial thing that happens with Let's Discover? What's the next big money thing that happens?
Yeah. So what happened after that is one day I was in the house. Then I texted one of the content creators. I think it's Patricia. I texted her. I'm like, oh, hi Patricia, we have this brand. Na saa hiyo ile pesa uko nayo hata huwezi kupeleka holiday. Lakini unataka kupeleka creator wapi? Holiday. I texted Lydia, not Lydia, Patricia. It's Lydia because Lydia, we work with her a lot, Lydia KM. So I texted her, I'm like, hey, by the way, we would like to work with you. And she was kind enough to just tell me, oh, okay, guys, I can come to the office and we can have a discussion about it. So when she came to the office, we started talking about a partnership and we decided to go to Masai Mara. She came with Sharon and a friend, one of her friends. And I think that is one trip which unlocked our finances and the trajectory of the company to another level. Working with creators really opened so many doors for us because nobody knew Let's Discover, the face behind the company. And as a Kenyan, you need to trust the brand, right? How are you going to trust Let's Discover? They have never worked with anyone. Yes, we are getting bookings, but it's ni kama wale wase wa like, hata hii pesa ikipotea, ni sawa. So when we worked with these guys, that's when everything changed for us. We went from the people who were just sitting in the office in a day to people who were actually getting calls, even at night, from people wanting to do trips. Yes.
Are you able to give me, to the extent that you can, some sort of insight into what that change sort of means for your company financially? And I'll let you. I'll let you. Decide what you'd be willing to share. But what does, because you're saying it's a huge change. What does that change actually mean? Just to make it a bit more practical.
So the change means we moved from 2 employees to 4. we were able to pay for our office bills without ever struggling again. Yes.
Now, one sort of these things.
Yes, and I was not struggling. We are not struggling to maybe fuel our cars, things like those. Like being paid as the directors, we are not struggling with that. We went from actually wondering where are we going to get the next booking to maybe sort a certain bill to now saying, okay, we need to do more marketing. We need to increase our sales. We need to make more money. To now being able to like say we can even go on a team retreat. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you guys decide what you're going to pay yourselves, what you're going to pay the other employees? How does that discussion come about?
One of the hardest things I know about businesses is partnerships. Partnerships and money can be very, very hard. But I think with my business partner, we have been able to come to an understanding whereby we believe our goals for the company are aligned. So we always have a sit down because I'll be honest with you, as a business which was starting up maybe like 2 years ago, we are not sure how much money we are going to have in the bank account after we have paid our bills. We had to be reasonable. Sitaamka asubuhi niseme nitajilipa 100k and I don't know if I'll be able to pay the employees because we always have to put the employees first.
Yes.
Umsee kama umetengeneza dona hujatengeneza. The 26th, they always knew I have to pay them. So I think it was more of a structure we put in place whereby we would have a sit down, see how much we have made, then we would pay ourselves from there.
So on a month basis,
on a month basis for a start.
It would change.
Yes, it would change. And also we were quite, I think we are quite reasonable. Just because we have made $1 million this month does not mean you're going to make $1 million next month. So you have to, keep pay for sunny days.
Yeah.
We had to actually make sure that at least next month, kama tutapata bookings mingi, at least we are sure we are going to survive.
Okay.
Yes.
What's the lowest you ever paid yourself in that period, if you remember? In that period where you're doing math on a month-on-month basis, what's the lowest you ever paid yourself in a month? Can you remember?
I think there are some days we would say, okay, we are going to pay our rent. We're going to make sure that we get food and we're not going to get a lot of allowances. So we would actually restrain ourselves from overspending. Yeah.
Okay, so you'd pay like your house rent,
Yes.
her house rent,
Yes.
food,
Yes.
and then...
Yes. Alafu sasa tunasema, tutangojea. If you get a good booking, well and fine, at least we can treat ourselves to something. Yeah.
So you basically bare minimum, so to speak, during that period.
For this, when we were starting the company, for the first 2 years, we did the bare minimum to make sure that at least we are comfortable and the company doesn't go down.
Okay.
Yes, because you never know where you're going to get your next amount of money from. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I would assume you guys are in a very seasonal business where even with travel, there's off-peak, on-peak, all those things. What impact did that have with your financial life? And is it something that you had to learn how to navigate?
Yeah. I think one of the things we always say we are very lucky about is we have really grown our pages to have a very good following. And the kind of clients we have, most of them, I'll be honest with you, they do travel throughout the year. Most of the companies which have seasons, maybe they have measured on things like migration and Christmas. For us, we keep on coming up with new products so that to encourage people to travel throughout the year. So at least I can be honest with you, the graph is sometimes does have a lot of ups and downs. At least we have a very steady graph every single time. Yeah.
So how many what's the word, packages, how many trips, how many bookings do you then move to when you now have this influencer sort of work that happens and now you're increasing the office? So in terms of bookings, how many bookings do you increase to in terms of what you're doing per month?
It depends because also it depends with the influencer you're working with. Not that some influencers are not influential. Depends on the spending power of spending habits and power of their clients. Sometimes we will work with a specific influencer and we will not have peace for like a week because people are calling. There's like one of the creators I always love working with is Lydia Murugi. When I've worked with them, I had like crazy calls, crazy bookings and all that. So honestly speaking, if I'm working with an influencer, I might get, let's say, 20, 30 bookings in a week. With an influencer, I'll do double that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as your business is growing, what are the considerations now that you're putting into place financially? What are the things that you're trying to explore financially or begin to think about?
Yeah. So one of the things we are trying to do is invest in something that is going to bring us steady income. Like we are able to get money even when we are not working a lot. We're also thinking of getting cars for the company. We're also thinking of, it's a crazy idea we have. We say soon we're going to build one of those Airbnbs with proper views, because I think that would actually give us constant flow of income. So we are trying to invest the money we are making now into a future whereby we are going to get a lot of steady income for the company. Yes.
Right now, what are the financial challenges that you guys experience with where you're at now?
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. Once a company grows to a certain level, when you get to the second of each month, the bills which you had paid a week ago, all of them come back. You have to pay them in another 4 weeks. And also the spending behaviors of clients, you can never predict them. 1 month will be so good and you have these plans for the company. The next month will be so different. Like I'll be honest with you, most business people will actually be tell you this. The last 6 months have not been that kind to most business people. Most of the clients want to spend on something, but they don't have the spending power. Maybe they don't have the money to do it currently. So that really, it's not like a good thing, kabisa, for the business. Yeah. Then you see, for bad for us, tours and traveling is not a necessity.
Yes.
It is not. People travel with surplus income. Yes. If you have some disposable cash money, like a cost. Nobody wakes up and decides, am I going to go on holiday or am I going to pay school fees? They decide about travel last. Yeah. So you need a lot of patience to survive.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to a space where you've considered financing, considered investment, or considered, whether it's taking loans from the banks and things like that? Has that happened so far?
Honestly, yes, I have. I have considered that, but I always consider about taking a loan, maybe from a bank, if I'm thinking about scaling up something in the business. I never take money from the bank just to have it laying in my bank account, because every single day that money is laying in your bank account, it means you're paying interest for it. Sometimes we need a lot of cash flow for our business because we have some credit clients who will just do holidays or will just book tickets and they expect us to issue the tickets. So if it makes financial sense, we are able to get these facilities to help us to cater for that need.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have used credit facilities?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's that process been like? And how do you, and even the first time that you had to get a credit, you had to get a facility to be able to facilitate a trip for a client. What was that? What was the client? What was the process? What were the revenues? How did it make you feel?
Yeah. So the first risk we took was with a corporate client. These guys wanted to go to coast. You have already sent them the invoice, and when you're expecting the payment, they tell you, by the way, we always issue an LPO. And they send you an LPO of around 3 million. You have to raise that money and you've already committed yourself to executing this job. So I remember I went to my business partner and nikamwambia, we, Tracy tumepewa LPO. I said, what do you mean? Nikamwambia, yeah. And you have to pay this money to the hotel. So we discussed with them the terms of payment. They told you, we're going to pay you guys back in 30 days and that's guaranteed, because I knew a couple of people in the company. So I think we talk around lunchtime to tukaenda bank, like, okay, let's go and see how this one turns out. We went to the bank, spoke to them, and I think banks have actually also made it quite easy for people to be able to access things like the digital loans and all that. I was able to actually get a loan in 2 days.
A 3 million,
Yes.
3 million facility in 2 days.
In 2 days, yes.
Yeah. Did you have to? Was there any surety? Was there any?
None at all.
Yeah.
None
What do
at
they
all.
call it? Not an unsecured, essentially an unsecured loan.
It was an unsecured loan actually, yes.
But against but it was the company that was
The
took
company.
loan.
So at least si mtu kwangu nifuata mimi, it was it was the company.
Okay.
But at least we have a long-term plan for the company, so we would not misuse money.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you made the payment. The people who give you the LPO paid you. I'm assuming
Yes.
in good
at
time.
least I think they paid us after 3 weeks.
Okay.
But you see, loan ishaanza kupata interest. So
Yes, that's what I was going to
there
ask.
was a bit of interest we had gotten from the loan we had. So at least we were able to facilitate the loan and at least make a profit. But now one of the things I learned from that is as long as you have money discipline, getting a loan is not a problem. If you don't, that's where you get a problem.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So and how soon into the birth of the business was that? How many years had you been in business by the time you needed to get a facility or
I
use a
think
facility?
we got a loan 3 years into business.
3 years into business.
Yes, that's when we started getting a couple of corporate clients. So that's the clients who needed a lot of a huge
credit
cash
limit,
flow
yeah.
was a credit limit for 30 days was to pay. Hey, watu wengine tunalipana mapema mi tunamalizana.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So now when I look at if you look at your business structure, your revenue model,
Yeah.
Where do you make most of your money from? Is it mostly from the corporate clients? Is it from personal individuals who are doing these trips? Is it
I think most of the capital for tours and travel for us comes from individual clients.
Okay.
Yes, individual clients. The corporate clients, they are quite seasonal. It's not like a consistent business.
Right.
The individuals really do a lot of trips. People will wake up, go to Naivasha. People will wake up, go to Masai Mara. People will wake up, go to Coast. And making a decision for an individual booking is quite easy compared to for a corporate client.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and then the what is it called? The conversion time as well.
Yes,
is also
it's
a lot shorter there.
Yes, and also you see with a corporate client, these people they have to do the whole procurement process. As much as you're making money, it takes time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Talk a bit about how you guys begin to get your taxes in order.
Yeah.
For your company, because literally from your first gig, you're already hitting VAT bracket, right? So what was that? What was that process like?
So
and
I
what's that
think
been like?
one of the things which we didn't know when we were starting the business is how to handle our taxes. It got to, I think, the end of the year. Then we started receiving emails from KRA.
Yes.
Guys, where are your taxes? And honestly speaking, the first year in business is like we are filing pay, because honestly speaking, unalipa mtu na M-Pesa, pay. So when it comes to the second year, we initiated the thing of doing pay. So now KRA realizes, there's a business here.
Yes.
So these people need now to start doing their taxes.
Yes.
I realized there is a lot someone needs to do for the taxes for a company. You need to pay the payee, you need to pay the NHIF, you need to pay the NSSF, and all those things. So the first time what we did is we got a freelancer who was able to advise us. Then you see, when you get a freelancer to come to the company, you still have to pay them a retainer to do the job for you. So this guy was really, really helpful. He was, cause manze, kazi ilikuwa nafanya, mi ilikuwa nashangaa mse anafanya kazi gani.
Yeah.
Because sahi edekia taxes imenitoka. Because nafika home naona KRA tunalipa KRA. So nikamwambia, okay, my guy, it's time to know how to handle these things. Because one of the things I'll tell you, as a company, you need to find someone who is smart enough to make sure that you just don't end up overpaying everything. So he's able to say,
because they'll never give you the money back.
They never.
Yeah.
You can actually have they can actually have a credit for you. They will never remind you, but have a debt with them. They will remind you every single day. Nakutumia email asubuhi, and they used to scare me, emails from KRA, because I used to have people say KRA wageza kukutumia email wanakufungia kampuni. Yeah. So he was really helpful, man. Like, he helped us build that finance docket. Right now, I think our taxes are really, really on order because of that guy. We made one decision. And I think it was really helpful that we brought him in early. Yes.
So essentially that really wasn't a headache that you
It
ever
was
then.
it was not, because I think when we were told to put our taxes in order, we just made the decision, and we were just the two of us, me and my business partner. So there was not a lot of bureaucracy or no is going to help us. We just decided, okay, let's get someone to help us do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you were to think about, I guess, what has allowed your business to grow to where it is now, what do you think, from a financial perspective, what do you think has played the largest role in allowing your business to be where it is now?
I think number one is consistency, for us to always wake up every single day, push this business to grow. Number two is discipline with finances. I think I'm one person who wants to live a very good life, but I'm not willing to do that at the expense of my company. Like start doing that immediately. Number three, I believe in luck. Honestly speaking,
Yes.
I'm a very strong believer of luck, because I think in this Nairobi, there are more than 5,000 travel agents. I believe there are people who wake up earlier than I do, who put more effort than I do, but maybe they have not crossed their luck yet. Yes. So I think luck has really been on our side, because some of the people we have actually been able to work with to promote our brand, they're always very kind to us. They're always willing to help us build the brand and all that. So luck is the biggest factor we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What's the worst money decision you've ever made as a business?
Worst money decision I've ever made as a business is on part of hiring employees. I think sometimes we have gotten it wrong with the employees we have hired, and you always realize that this was the wrong decision months later into it. You thought someone is going to bring you maybe a lot of sales, they don't.
And how much in that instance, how much would it cost you? How much did it cost you?
Let's say, for example, you bring in an employee, then you're paying them, let's say 50,000 or 60,000, a retainer, and you keep that employee for a whole year.
Yeah.
Then it gets to a point you see that employee is not performing perfectly. You don't let them go. You never put any structures for them to gauge their performance. They're still reluctant to do their job. So sometimes it really costed a lot. Stay for months without even thinking about letting them go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the other thing was tumeingia kwa biashara. It's 2 years in. I want to wake up, go to my own office. I never see how much that office is going to cost me. I think we got to a point and rented an office for 150,000, but we never did the maths on what if we are going to get to 3 months without making money. We never projected our bills way ahead.
Yeah.
So sometimes we did get an office, a good one. I had a very beautiful space. But now at the end of the day, we sat down and did the maths, and it was not making sense for us. So we had to downsize to a smaller office. And I think that it was a very stupid, sorry to say, stupid.
To get the decision, to get the office in the first place.
Yes, because one of the things you need to do as a business is always trust the process. Usiwaitaka kuruka process moja. Don't jump. Just wait for it. Wait for the growth. Move slowly. It's fine. You're going to get there. Yeah.
What's the best money decision you ever made as a business?
The best money decision. Number one, hiring the right people.
That's like the opposite of what you said.
Yes. Hiring the right person.
Yeah.
Then other one is
in your before you even go to the next one, in your instance, what is hiring the right person? And I'll give you an instance. I was listening to an episode on how I built this, and they were featuring a company called, I think, Perfect Snack or something, and they're talking about how when they redid their branding for their product, they saw a 40% jump increase in sales.
Yeah.
And so that's the context that I'm giving of doing the right thing. So I'm wondering, in your instance of hiring the right person, what does that mean financially?
Number one, someone who is not willing to let me tell them what the job to do. I have gotten to people in the office, or I get to the office, I tell them, let's do N, Z. They're like, Mutuku, no, this is going to be beneficial to the company more than what you think. Yes.
Okay.
Hiring someone who can actually do their job. The worst thing you can ever do as a business person is to hire someone and tell them what to do. Because why are you hiring them in the first place? So right now, for us as a business, we don't look at employees in terms of I'm going to pay this person less. No, we look at employees at the value they are going to bring into the business. I think the other thing is the ability to put money to grow money. I'm never shy to actually spend money in marketing. I'm never shy to actually try out new
What's the
marketing.
most amount of money you've spent on a marketing endeavor, and what was the return?
I think it was a trip I did with creators. I spent close to 300,000 on one trip. But that changed how people viewed the brand because we were able to create content with these people. But I think the returns were actually triple the amount we spend. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Right now, I guess with the space that you're in, and again, this I'll let you tell me what you're willing to as we're coming to an end. What's been the best year financially that you can disclose to us? The one that I know you won't disclose, the one that's the best, but the one that you can disclose to us.
Honestly speaking, it is not politically political in any way, but I think 2023 was a good year for us in business. We had most corporates going out, they had money to spend. 2024 was not as bad. 2025 seems worse. Yeah, 2023 was one year I always, every time I wake up, I'm like, oh, I wish I could go back to 2023.
If you could compare in even percentages, 2023 to 2025, what's the percentage decretion?
It would be hard to compare that because from the point of in 2023, they are the goals we had as a company. We thought we were going to attain these goals, right? We had goals for 2024. We had goals for 2025. We have not attained the goals for 2025. We attained the goals for 2023 and exceeded that by crazy percentages.
Okay.
2024, we got there. We survived. 2025, we're struggling. Slightly we are struggling not because we are struggling financially, we are struggling to get to where we wanted to be. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, what does financial success look like for you now with I guess where the company is at right now?
Yeah.
What does financial success mean in financial terms?
Yeah.
Making 100 million turnover success, 200 million?
I think depending on a certain event, that would be having like proper cash flow. If I'm having bills of 100 million to pay, I need to have proper cash flow for 100 million. If I have bills of 200 million to pay, I have cash flow of 200 million.
Yeah.
Cash flow is king to me. Yes. I always envision at a point whereby the company gets to a point, it's able to pay its bills, it's able to do investments, and cash flow is still good. Yes, because profits are good. I do believe they're good. I would love to make a lot of money as a business person. But again, I always look at it at the point of I don't want to keep a lot of money in the company. I want to invest this money back. So as much as I invest the money back, it keeps on coming back. I'm good with that.
Okay.
Yes.
I think those are my questions for today.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. I mean, thanks so much for coming and giving us a story of Let's Discover, and I guess being as vulnerable as you could have been with with the journey that you guys have taken.
Yeah.
It's only been 5 years, but it feels like you guys have been there much longer.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll have this discussion again, hopefully another
yes.
year or two.
We are trying to explore different things for the
Yeah.
company, even from a personal perspective. I'm trying out new things. So let's see in the next few years, we might be having a different conversation.
Yeah, I'm hopefully.
Yeah.
And
Or
you've
maybe
made-
we'll
you've
be
made-
inviting you to one of our hotels.
Maybe for one of those voucher trips, I
Yes.
will take them. Anyway, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank
the
you so
podcast.
much.
Thank you for listening to Financially Incorrect Business Edition. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope there's a lesson or two that you've picked up and just heard the story of Let's Discover and how it's grown and the things that they are considering right now and things that they've had to do. And we will see you guys on the next episode of Financially Incorrect Business Edition. Thanks for watching.